We're going to get started. Hello, nieces and nephews. This is Tito Keith again, and we're going to knock out this really, really important video about the title being, Did American Women Create Passport Bros? I've been wanting to do this video for several weeks, but anybody who's ever did a report on paper, especially if you got to write something like 20 words, or you have a presentation of 20 minutes or 2 hours, it's difficult to do, and you have to get a lot of information together if you're going to have statistics to back up what you say, or something intelligent, and not just yap. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 major things we're going to do. We're going to knock this out pretty quick, but I'm kind of putting this together. It was really long, so this one presentation I had to split into 4 presentations because it just got too long. So this one, first we're gonna, let's go back up. With the title being, Did American Women Create, myself I would say, how did American women create passport bros? We're going to have 4 subtopics there under that heading. First, we're going to define passport bros. Then we're going to address the where have all the good men gone. We hear that all the time in America. Where have all the good men gone? And we're going to talk about a couple of men in media who are very prominent, very controversial, sort of hyper masculine, and that's fair to say they're hyper masculine. Explaining how to check women, and how in America we are not able to check our women anymore, or we're too afraid to, or whatever. And then we're going to talk about being overweight and obesity among American women. So the first thing we need to do is define passport bros. A general definition is Western men, not all, but many, who believe that Western women are past the point of no return. Of course, when we say Western women, we mean American women, Canadians, Australians, very much of Western Europe. But for this, we're going to focus on American men and American women, because that's what I know more about, because I live here. And it would be unfair for me to speak about other men in other Western countries when I don't really know the nuances of some of those cultures. So we're going to focus on Western men and Western women. What is a passport bro? We just said Western men who believe Western women are past the point of no return. So Western men, actually American men, that are going to other countries. They're going to other countries to date or to find wives, because they just do not want to date American women anymore. And this is not my words. I'm giving you, and you'll see laced throughout this, you're going to see what other men prominent men are saying, and it's kind of alarming that there's so many men that are thinking like this. They're saying that in America specifically, that American women have lost their femininity. They bought into feminism. That American women they've become loud and argumentative because they've become more and more masculine and competing with men, instead of men and women having their roles in society. And American men have just said, you know what, I'm going to go overseas where the women are traditional and they appreciate a traditional man. The really interesting part with this is it began with black men in America. That's why they call it passport bros. And that's not saying anything bad. That's actually an interesting thing. That it began as an online, I wouldn't say an online movement or online community, but it just in YouTube and TikTok, that term passport bros became a more prominent thing. passport bros, because black men in America were just saying, no more. I'm not even going to date American women anymore. I'm going to get my passport, and I'm going. No, I'm going overseas. Passport bros, which is really interesting. And what they made a really big deal about Philippines, Thailand, Latin America, again, a lot of Western Europe. But that passport bros turned into more of a nationwide in America. In America, I'm not talking about any other country. I'm talking about America. It's turned into a nationwide movement, specifically online, where American men of middle class and upper middle class, and some upper class, they've said, you know what, I'm going to get my passport. I've read all this stuff online. I know some buddies who've been overseas, and they've told me some of what they've seen over there, so I'm getting my passport and I'm going overseas. Now, we can make more, we could expand on that, but when I say it's middle class and upper middle class, not so much lower middle class and lower class, because they can't really afford to do that. You can't fly. You're talking about a round trip ticket for one person that costs, sort of depends, but costs about $2,500 to $3,000 round trip. And then you get over there for 1 week, and there's another $500 to $1,000. And I know some friends, very, very close associates, who they take a month off. I can never take a month off. I only go for a week. So I only need about $1,000 and be comfortable in the Philippines. But lower class, lower income men, this is going to become important here in just a few minutes. Lower income and lower class men can't afford to do that. So they have to accept whatever's here. They have no choice. Middle class, certainly upper middle class and upper class men, they have a choice. They have options. They don't have to put up with that nonsense. So, again, to go back to now online, it involves both black and white men in America. Here's a really interesting one. As I was getting ready to go overseas, I knew I was going to go to Southeast Asia, because I've actually never been there before, but I've read so much about it. I don't want to go to Western Europe. I didn't want to go to South America, because it's so unpredictable and it's so difficult to research a lot of stuff in South America. So I was focusing on Southeast Asia, and there's a really prominent YouTube presence, a YouTube guy who's got a great YouTube channel. He calls it The Black Filipino. And say that again, The Black Filipino. I think, I might be wrong, but I think he lived in Thailand for about a year, but he's been in Philippines now for 7 or 8 years. He's got a Filipino wife, and the dude is in his early 40s. I'm not sure what he did to retire so early, but he doesn't expand on it too much, but he says he does have some online business stuff there in the Philippines where he makes money. And his first YouTube video is called The Black Filipino. He focuses on I thought this motherfucker was plugged up. Shucks.